All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're back up here at Franklin GMC Chevy dealer up here in Statesboro, Georgia. And what we're going to talk about today, listen, so you're out and you're researching trucks. You're about to buy these things and you're trying to decide what models you want and you're test drive them. These are a couple things that I think often get overlooked and they come back to haunt you later. So I want to point them out to you now so that you can make sure you check this out and see if it's going to matter to you. Because to me, it's huge. It's massive. It's vitally important. That is going to be the bed setup. All right. So if we look at these, we got a lot of trucks here, but even when it comes to the multifunctional tailgates, the fact that this, I love the way that GM and Chevy do this drop down one on here. So if you want something like that, great. I like that better than the weird half door ones and the things like that to do stuff. I think this is a great design. One of my all-time favorites was how Ford, we're not a Ford dealer, used to have that step that you hit the button and the step popped out of there. I thought that was a very good use of space on there. I think it was one of the best. I actually probably like that better than the GMC version here, how this rolls and does that trick on there and comes down. But it was, you know, again, that's one thing. The key thing, the most important thing, is that you understand the bed tie-down setup. Now, they're all going to be the same. I want to find one that's going to be more white light for us because of it being nighttime here. But, so if we look at here, in all of the HD and the full-size truck versions for all GM, Chevy and GM, notice we have one high, one middle one, and one bottom tie-down. We have 3 tie-down points in all 4 corners. Same exact thing there. Look at that setup. Now when we come over here, we got the same thing. 3 of them there. That is your handrail for the side step right there. We also have bed lights in here, which is phenomenal, but 3 tie down points. Let's come over on this side and look at it from over here. And this does have that multifunctional tailgate. Then here we have 3 more tie downs, another bed light angling forward. You know, so it's angling up like it should, and then we have our power down there where it's real easy to get to, not buried all the way up per se, whereas my lens like right there would be. So I love the way that GM does it. Nobody does a truck bed better than GM or Chevy, either one of them. Nobody does these better. So you have everything you need right there, easy access, and perfectly set. And the tie downs are vitally important because you tie stuff down. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough. If you were to put lumber in here and stack like 5 2x12s in here, you can use those tie down points and actually tie them and hold them down in this truck because you can here and there. You can't do that in many other trucks. Middle tie downs, high tie downs, they give you everything. No fancy, weird, cheesy cleats. No fancy little rail systems unless you want to add them. They give you simple, functional capability. Also notice that on the fender, we have these cutouts on there. Okay, well, and then you got the cutouts in the stacks right there. Those are to be able to put 2x6s and stuff in there and separate it across and build your own shelving. We know that. We see that stuff. You got little notches in there that'll hold them and everything, and we see that kind of stuff. But the most important part, tie downs, bed lights, power in the back. Very important that this stuff is done right, in my opinion. We're going to cover more. It's not just about tie downs. Hang on. We got cool guys. Got to let them pass. Cool guys. But so here we come over here. This is the base, lowest grade you can get. This is the Pro model, GMC Sierra Pro. We got the quad cab or half cab or whatever they call this. I call it a half cab, regardless of what it is. But you got that, and you got the 6.5 foot bed on here. We look in here, same kind of setup. 3 tie downs up front, just like we're talking about. We got 3 there. We got 3 there. Let's look over here. We have bed light right there. This one does not have that functional tailgate, so we don't need a handle over there. We don't have any fancy stuff there. It's simple. And we have power over there. Is that power? Is that just a black hole for power? That is a black hole for power, but easy to add. And we got a bed light. Now keep in mind, 3 tie downs everywhere, the same setup. This truck is a $40,000 truck. 40 whatever, what did we say it was? $44,000 MSRP. 44 grand MSRP. Here it is right there, 2026 Sierra 1500 Pro. This is a mid $30,000 truck right here. And nice wheels, nicely done, good looking truck. Here's 3 of them in a row right here. They are fantastic trucks and they do the beds well. Now, what else is it besides the inside of the bed? Okay, so you want power. If you need power, power is a good option. And even if you don't have the power, like I said, they're already pre-set up for it, so it makes it nice. That might be important to you. So if you're looking at Ford, you're looking at Toyota, you're looking at Ram, these are things you want to check. The tie downs, vital. If you want to carry, let's just hit that one more time before I get into these other things. So while we're back here and we were talking about it, if you want to carry, if you want to put a cooler in here, for example, you want to be able to tie it down. Imagine if your cooler's in here and all you got are those middle ones or those top ones. How are you going to tie a cooler down to the top one? And there are trucks that only have them up high. How do you tie a cooler down and keep it from going anywhere? How are you tying a toolbox down in here? Okay, keeping anything there. How are you tying down your beach chairs and your beach umbrella that you're going to just throw back here to run to the beach? How are you, or your camp chairs, and keep them from blowing out? How are you going to tie them down if you don't have tie downs in a low point? If I put a winch back here in a hitch cradle and want to lock it down, I can't tie it down. If I put a milk crate back here with something in it, I can't tie it down unless I have those. Not many give you that. It's a shame how many do not. So if that is important to you, make sure you are paying attention to that. This is another feature that I think Chevy and GMC do incredible. The bumper step. Simple. That's wasted space. Wasted space. There's nothing happening there. And now we get this amazing simple bumper step that is right there. What else is nice? It's hidden around the backside. There's not mud collecting on it and crap like that. It's just right there, so functional. Tailgate comes down. You go from here to the tailgate. Life is good. I don't even need to use a tailgate. I can just step right on here and get right up in here to do anything I need to. Priceless. Priceless. Okay, and look, everybody has them. They all have them. They don't really give you a hard time on your trim levels too much. They're giving them to you. They're there. Now, if you buy something fancy, you get rid of it, like the ZR2s, for example. But look at here, even on that $44,000 cheapest grade you can get, what do we got? Perfect bumper steps. Right there, just like they should be. So GM crushes it on the bed aspect. They do it well. Pisses me off tremendously on a ZR2, which I have here actually. I drove it here today, and I have it, but my Colorado, or I should say Tina's Colorado ZR2, highest end you can get. We'll look at the Colorados in a minute, but her ZR2, look at all these bumper steps. Everything has a bumper step. Everywhere I turn, there's a freaking bumper step. Everything that GM makes, there are bumper steps everywhere. Look at my ZR2. No bumper step. We don't get a bumper step on a ZR2. Because the clearance issues, they say, could change the departure angle. It's like, oh, very upsetting. Fortunately, though, the Colorado really doesn't need a bumper step on there, so it doesn't bother me too bad. But that is something, again, this is all part of that back end that you need to be paying attention to see if it's going to matter to you, if it's going to be a big deal. Here we have brand new 2026 Trail Boss. 2025 LTZ, we got another 2025 or 2026 LTZ. Okay, here's a 2026 Trail Boss, not even prepped yet. Bed step, tailgate, or bumper step right there. Perfect bumper step. We come over here, we look at this one over here, this elevation. Right over here, we got a bumper step. GMC Canyon elevation, bumper step. Now here we go too. Look at, see now in the midsize, we get a low tie down and a high tie down. We only get two. We don't get three like we do in the actual HDs. We'll look at the HDs. They're right over there. But we don't get three like we do in the 1500s. But we do get two. We get a high and a low, and we have power back here in this one, which is kind of nice. This one, notice though, we do not have bed lights. In the Colorado lineup, they are very stingy. They are very, very stingy with bed lights. I don't understand why, but they are, and that may be something that matters to you. I think the one that we saw that did was this particular package over here, this LT package with a big, this is an LT, but it's got like projector lights, got a $3,500 extra package on this 2026 two-wheel drive LT with a $3,600 extra option on here. Do we get a bed lights in this one? No. Even in this, we still do not get bed lights. Isn't that crazy? No bed lights even in this one. So like I said, they're pretty stingy on the Colorado stuff. This one gets, you know, LED headlights, fog lights, the whole deal, but no bed lights. So again, things to see if it's gonna matter to you. to me, this stuff is vitally important with how that bed is set up. What you can do with it and you can't do with it. Here, we'll pop over and look at an HD truck real quick. And right over here, we have a perfect custom, which is one of the lowest trims you can get in it. Beautiful truck, excellent price. This is also still the diesel, but we're coming in at $69,000 with a heck ton of options on here. But you can get them. You can get a gas version of the same truck in a gasser, 6.6 gasser, and you could get it literally for $58,000 MSRP, which means about $49,000 out the door. Okay, before taxes and everything. But look at mid-step, perfect. Bumper step, perfect. Okay, whole setup. Got the multi-function tailgate on here. And we also have, here if we look in the back, 1, 2, 3, power, and the cab lights, just like we expected to have. Same exact setup. Pure perfection. That is what we're after. That is what we're looking for. So it matters. It matters big time. So if it matters to you, pay attention to the bed, not just how the truck drives, not how it looks, not how much it is. When you're out test driving them, take some time to think about that back end. You bought a truck for a reason, which means you plan to use the bed of the truck. Make sure you understand how it works and if it's going to be good enough for you or do what you need it to. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.